Okay. Hello and welcome to Texan Nurse Mentor. Today I have a guest, Shelby.
Hello everyone. Hi. How are you doing?
Hey, Shelby. So Shelby and I are both registered nurses. So Shelby, tell me, how long have you been a nurse for?
So I've been a nurse for just over 7 years. Well, I've been working for 7 years, but I've been a nurse probably like 7.5 years.
Hmm. Yeah, how has it been the last 7 years?
Oh, it has been a whirlwind. So, starting off with nursing, we do like our internships and training, and it's just interesting to see like how the medical field changes so rapidly.
Hmm.
Even from the time that I started, just in 7 years, to me, that's like a baby nurse.
Yeah.
Still, like, because we have like senior nurses with like 20, 30 years of experience.
Hmm.
So, but even in the last 7 years, to see how much things have changed and like there's new technology coming out, new medications, um, and also just nursing care in general, how it's changed over the years, especially, with the pandemic like that. I would have never expected like, oh, like when I was a kid, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a nurse one day and there's gonna be a pandemic. Like nobody thinks like, oh, there's gonna be this huge like pandemic. And I think that really changed nursing forever. Just like all the previous pandemics. But it's been interesting, but I still love it. I'm still there. I'm still doing it now. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
You kind of like got a little excited, see what the future holds. What's in your
Yeah.
future in nursing, Shelby?
Yeah, so right now, and this is one thing that I didn't actually know when I was in nursing school. There's different levels to nursing. Of
Hmm.
course, there's different like positions and stuff, but just within nursing, bedside nursing in general, there's the levels like NC, like well, we say NC, which means nurse clinician. There's one, two, three, four, five. And
Yeah.
hospitals hire you and pay you based on your level. So currently right now I'm at NC3,
Yeah.
which comes with certain requirements depending on your state and where you live. And I'm an NC4 candidate now, trying to move in that direction, and hopefully going back to school one day to get a master's degree. I've been hearing like all these little people like, oh, you should go back to school. So now I'm just like, well, mom, now maybe I should go back to school.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the idea is so daunting. After going through nursing school, that's kind of like a little bit dramatic. You're like, do I
Yeah.
want to put myself
Uh,
through this again? Like, do I want to go through this again, for another 2 years? So
Girl,
that's kind
your
of
face says you do. I don't know.
like but see, I'm a school person. I like school. I like studying. I think it's more of like I like the organization of like
Yeah.
having a plan and studying. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird in that way, but I like the idea of planning and studying and
Yeah.
learning something new.
Right.
So, but also seeing, having the experience in the medical field, there's so much behind the scenes that people don't see. Um,
Hmm.
with administration and like it is also very political, which I
Yeah.
think when you go into nursing school, it's just all about like learning about the body and stuff. But then there's a lot of politics behind it that you don't get to see until you get into the workplace and you're like, oh wow, like okay, this is okay. So then you have to like become like this professional, like
Yeah.
So I think I don't know, just for me, it's also kind of like I have the desire to like have like more of a say so, or like not necessarily have a say so, but like speak up and like advocate for, you know, because initially I thought, oh, I'm gonna like advocate for people and patients and get to meet all these people and like be an advocate for them and like be a second family member for them when they don't have one. But
Hmm.
also having someone to advocate for, nursing staff, like,
Yeah.
like, okay, these things
So
are
give us an
happening.
example.
Like these, so say for instance, like there's something that's going on in the unit, or leadership comes down with a decision and the staff doesn't agree with it. It's like, okay, how do we change these decisions? How do we have a voice and input into these decisions? With representatives to our unit, which I'm glad, our hospital, I won't like disclose the name. I don't know if that's appropriate, but
Yeah.
with our hospital, we have they do, I think they try, their best to have us, on committees and councils to hear our voice
Mhm.
and input. But I don't know. I just, maybe it's just me. I feel like having those extra letters behind my name made me feel like, oh, like I get to have a say. So like, like I get to
Yes.
speak up and I get to advocate for, the staff. So I feel like it's really like, but it's really like intriguing to me, like the politics behind it and all the meetings and hearing what,
Mhm.
they have to say. So I think that really like it interests me. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I think I'm gonna like go that route. I just don't know because I have two kids.
Right.
Um, my oldest is 7 and my youngest is, I have to think about that for a minute. Sorry. I'm like, how old are my kids again? So my daughter's 7 and my son is 3. But I'm like, okay, now that he's 3, he's gonna be getting into school. So maybe I think it starts time to start looking into going back.
Wait, wait, you're gonna pause you. So you said you were in nursing school when you were pregnant with your
Yeah, so this, oh Lord, let me tell you.
girl. Oh gosh.
So
That's your wait, your
I went, I did my prereqs at North Texas, University of North Texas.
mm-hmm.
And I was there for 3 years, but just trying to, like any other like college, trying to figure out like what school I always wanted to be a nurse.
Mm.
That was always the goal, like from a child all the way up, like I'm gonna be a nurse.
Yeah.
So when I went to college, I was just like nursing, nursing. But I chose a school unfortunately that didn't have pre-nursing program. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just trying to like, I want to go be with my friends and not really thinking about myself and what I wanted to do. So it made it a little bit harder for me. So I had to spend 3 years doing prereqs
Mm.
because I had to do the prereqs that were required for all of the nursing schools
Hmm.
instead of just choosing one school, and going that route. So I did 3 years of prereqs, and then the last year, I think I fell into maybe like a depression towards the end of that third year.
Yeah.
I was away from my family for 3 years, and like getting out and outlet, and Dallas is maybe like a 5 hour drive, and then Denton is like north of Dallas.
Hmm.
So I was just got into a depression. I said, I want to go home. I want to go home, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I came home, took a summer school, um, retook A&P and like microbiology, and then I was sitting in the hallway one day at the community college, and I saw this thing on my phone. Like I was checking my email, and it said, "Please, your FAFSA application is incomplete." And I said, "What? FAFSA application?" But it was for the school that I went to, and I was like, "Do I need to do an application for the school for financial aid?" I'm confused. So I log in to like my portal, like because when you apply to college, they have like a portal for you to check to see if you're admitted. And in the hallway after micro lab, it's like, oh, your acceptance. And I was just like, are you joking me? I
Yeah.
got into the school. I was like, this is like my only option. I only had one option to go to school. I said, I have to go to this school. I don't
Yeah.
have any other options. Which I guess is like, they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. I had all of my eggs in this one basket. Um,
Me too.
but I guess it worked out. I went to nursing school. This is all I want to tell you how I got pregnant. But at the time in high school, I had a boyfriend. We met at 17 years old. He's my husband now.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. We were just talking last night. I think this year will be 5 years we've been married in November. So I went through nursing school, and we were having our relationship issues and stuff like that. And I got pregnant the second to last semester. And it was, the school's an accelerated program,
Mm.
but, I ended up having to retake one class. So it extended, the program. And I got pregnant the second to last semester of school. And I was like, oh, wow. So I have a life to take care of now. Um, and my husband, we were still like dating at the boyfriend girlfriend at the time. And I was just like, oh wow. He was so excited. He was so excited to have a baby. And I was just like, have you lost your freaking mind? Like, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we're about to have a kid. And so he was so excited, but it ended up, working out. We had our daughter. So my last semester of clinicals, it was all so nursing school. It's all clinical. So we do like they say live the life as a nurse. So we do our 3 shifts, 12 hours every week, and then we have classes in between. So every day you're either in class or you're in clinical, or
Yeah.
you're studying for the exit HESI for all of the classes. It was a lot. So I got to the end, and I would be sitting in class with my big belly, six,
Yeah.
7 months pregnant. But the way I found, I was sitting in class one day and I was so tired, and I slept, and I'm just like, why am I so sleepy? I'm so sleepy. And the thing is, I'm like, I slept all night. I go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night, wait, because I have to wake up early for school. So why am I still falling asleep? It was like I couldn't help but to like close my eyes about sleeping. But I was pregnant and didn't know it. Um, so I went through clinicals, OB clinical, labor and delivery, high acuity, 6, 7 months pregnant. Got my did my exit HESI
Mhm.
pass. Thank you, Lord. I was so nervous. Um, well, I took it twice actually, because the first time I barely missed. Like I
Mhm.
barely missed. Like I think this. I don't know how they scored, but I needed to score like a 900 and something, and I got like a 850 something. I was like joking. Um, but yeah, I ended up having my daughter after. I think it just all worked out because I got my job. I got my offer to work for like the start is like November 6th. My
Mhm.
daughter was born November 21st. Her due date was like the second or third week of November. So I'm like, how am I gonna start a job? Have a baby still at work?
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, some people do it. Like I have like coworkers who've done it. Like they went and had their baby and were back at work the next week. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's great. That's great for you. But I was freaking out. That's my first kid. So
Yes. First year
I ended
nursing,
up, yeah,
first kid,
yeah. First job offer, first
first
like
job offer.
career. And luckily the job worked out. And they were like, oh, you can start in February. And I was like, I get to stay home with my baby for 4 months and then I get to go to work, so it worked out. So
Yay,
I went
that's
through
awesome.
clinicals. I went through clinicals pregnant, walking around, but
Mhm.
luckily for me, my pregnancy was really easy. Most of the time I didn't even know. Like I couldn't really feel that I was pregnant except for like feeling this heavy, like maybe weighing me down. But besides that, I didn't have any morning sickness, no issues. And at the same time, I didn't want to feel like, oh, I'm pregnant, so they're gonna like be easy on me.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm gonna stay the 12 hours. I'm gonna do the work. And I studied and studied and studied. I would go home, study, stay up late, open my NCLEX book, study for that. I
Yeah.
took my NCLEX and I was like, wow. And once I got that notification, like, oh, you have passed. Like,
Yeah.
they send a little email and it just says like pass or fail. And I
Mhm.
saw that pass and I had to stop her. I was like, wait, let me just read this a few more times. Let me just make sure. Because I was like, let me just make sure this says pass before I start getting excited. And
Yeah.
it said pass, and I was like, just the relief of knowing, like, wow, I did it.
Mhm.
I went through the last semester of school fully pregnant, and she would be kicking me, like, while I was in class, kicking me, like, punching
She,
me
she
all
kicked
in my
you,
rib.
yeah, she kicked you right into where you needed to be.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
Shelby, I love that you are sharing the story because there's a lot of nurses who are either before they're going into nursing school
Yeah,
or just applied, don't know what to do. Maybe they also found out they're pregnant during the nursing
yeah.
program, and they kind of don't know where to turn or what to do. So
I'll just
this,
say keep going. It's
yeah,
worth it. Just keep going. I saw actually there was a nurse yesterday who made like a little quick video about how nursing changed her life. She went from like not having enough money, not knowing where to really
yeah,
live, and she went back to nursing school. She was an LVN. She went back to school to get her bachelor's degree.
yeah,
And she's like, nursing completely changed my life. She was like, financially, it does really help a lot, depending on where you live and like your situation, but it really does. And like having that knowledge and that knowing that like I earned this, I worked hard for this, and nobody can take it away from me.
yeah.
Unless of course you're doing some shady stuff. Don't do any
Oh,
of
yeah,
that.
yes. I know.
But for the most part, if you do what you're supposed to do and you are ethical in your job, like you should be fine. But just keep going. Don't give up. Like it is worth it in the end.
Sure, and thank you, Shelby, for your time and your examples and your life, the story of your nurse life.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.